Hi, Euselandia. Good morning. Thank you so much for doing this. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your company and your experience working with Assist Your Biz.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you so much for having us. And in the marketing business, we have a marketing company for the last 30 years. And right now we're having the two brands. One that is dedicated to work with companies, organizations in the marketing field. And on the other end, we have the book publishing company. And there's another type of events that we do for authors, writers, and that's the field that we've been working on the last, it's going to say almost 30 years.
What was the biggest challenge you were facing before finding Assist Your Biz?
Right now that we were moving the company, like expanding from Florida to New York, now that we are based in another state, we found out like trying to deal with all the appointments and trying to reach a new market, it's a completely different world where we have different targets, different nationalities, and trying to rearrange the company based on what we found out that they are needing in this market. I think that was the biggest challenge for us to make a decision to try to build the team that can supply the needs that right now we are receiving from last year to now.
Now, how was our recruitment process different from other options that you consider to solve this problem? Because we are not the only company in the world that can help with this, but how was our process different in your mind?
Even if I know that we can find many options online, it's not the same thing when you know that you feel like you are in the same office, meeting the people that they are working to hire, and not only to give you the service, but to feel what we call like the pain and to resolve those, to have the solutions for those situations that you're dealing, like to build the perfect team and to expand your company. So I think like finding your company, which it was completely different. It was like to have the interview, the attention to the details, to have that expertise, all that experience based on all those studies that you have, for example, and to trying to find the right people for the right positions. It was completely different from previous experiences.
Okay, so this brings me to my next question. Before hiring your remote worker, what tasks were eating up most of your time? And what are you currently doing with that time now?
I think the most time consuming, even if I enjoy it, and I know that sometimes it's not profitable like minded, but I think like investing the time receiving the orders and trying to rearrange to do the planning, scheduling everything, and delivering the products, the services that we have. I think that was part of things to be resolved as soon as possible. And as the first task to be fixed, it was the agenda and that time to be distributed in a better way. It's been a life-changing experience right now.
Amazing, amazing. Okay. And what are you doing with that time now that you don't have to do that anymore?
I think I'm giving quality in terms of the services that right now we need to have that. For example, if we're working with books, sometimes if we have somebody that is designing or proofreading, like you were saying, right now to have that opportunity, not to be paying attention of how many customers, like the phone calls and estimates as well. Right now that we have in the team, a person that is working with that specific task and administration by itself. Right now, I know that errors, even if we are really focused on that and giving that quality of all the processing services, right now is much more reliable.
Perfect, perfect. And how has this impacted your business or revenue?
Completely, because we're delivering all the services, and the first part is like to have the meetings on the perfect time. And I know that sometimes in our market, there are I know that we used to have meetings that sometimes customers they show up, or maybe they can have a situation that we lost that maybe that appointment for some reason that the person doesn't have, for example, the help. They are not tech savvy. And if you lose something so simple like a Zoom link, maybe you have a next meeting, and for some reason you just that way to organize everything in a day. Right now we know that is money in terms of investing time, and right now we are delivering the service in a much more efficient way for sure.
Amazing, amazing. So your clients are happier. Are you seeing that from your communities or your because you deal with authors and things like that, right? So you deal with people that have a lot of followers, ego, and you seen this from working with your remote worker as a success.
Yes, I think that was one of the other challenges at the beginning. They are really used to be talking with you. I mean, to be like dealing with all the process with you. I mean, all the tasks, but at the same time, but they are getting used to it, and they're really happy about. I mean, they're having their schedule. They know that they have their own time for them to have all the process completed, and they are helping us to be serving a better service for themselves.
Can you tell us about an experience where our client was used to working specifically with you and now you hand him off to your remote worker? How was that transition? What occurred? What have you seen as far as having success with this handoff process, which is something that many business owners struggle with?
Mhm. That's really interesting to have that question. I just found out that it's like for you to transfer some way. The first thing is like to know about the personalities, and the first person is not a customer, is not a client, it's the person that you're working with. I mean, if you have a good communication and the person is like in the same page with you somehow, you're getting used to a new person in your work environment. So if you're working like to have same level of communication and understanding, I mean, how the customer is, and it's like for me to transfer. Um, every customer is different, and in this field that I am, there's a everybody's treated the same way, but there's a very different communication in terms of how to reach each one of them. It's completely different, and it's just for me to transfer all that way to have the way that they would like to be treated, or in the way that they like to work. And it's just a teamwork to make them feel like we are all the same. I mean, trying to give them the quality of service and the results that they're expected to have.
What would you tell a business owner who is on the fence about working with us?
I know that, like I said previously, I know that we can receive many offers, but right now it's like bombarding like of so many services and sometimes confusion. But what it was really good is to have a real service, real people for a very real world of customers that they need to have um, the delivery of what they're expecting. So right now, I think like to have the meeting with you, to have those interviews, and to see that you're paying attention not only for the employee, not only for the person who is in charge of all the process that we're putting in their hands. You're paying attention to the owner of the company and both sides to be served, to pay attention. I mean, in the way that both are gonna feel well, and at the end, all the benefit is gonna be in the customer side, which is awesome from what we are seeing right now.
Amazing, amazing. That's it. Thank you so much, Euselandia, for taking time out of your busy schedule this is going to help many other business owners who are exactly where you were. So thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you for having us.